Gohan felt relieved because he had eliminated the monster that attacked them, and everyone regains hope that everything will be fine. But in the kingdom of Makai, the great Makaioshins were furious with the defeat they had suffered. At that moment, we discovered the name of one of the beings that are gathered there, Yudokuda, a cruel being with evil plans and dark and ambitions of only obtaining power so that everyone would submit to them. Vegeta was on his knees in front of his enemy. The toxins were spreading through his body, and little by little, he felt his energy being drained. Goku had also been affected by the poison and could no longer move, and right there at that moment, the villain starts to say while the memories of the past begin to emerge. We were created by Makaioshi to be weapons, mortals. In this realm of demons, there are classifications. We were the experiments that went wrong. Some of us have begun to empathize with mortals, and others have not been able to let go of their past lives. Therefore, they are the elite warriors who are the perfect experiments. In this little phase, you've only faced Kame so far, and I'm going to finish you off here and now. So thank me because you didn't go through the suffering of facing the elite of the Three Supreme. Hey there, how's it going? Just here to remind you to click the like button, subscribe here to the channel so you don't miss any videos, and stay well inside our entire universe of Dragon Ball. Let's get back to the point. At this moment, Vegeta starts to smile and says, "So that means that until now we've only faced the weaklings. So I just need to finish you off to face someone really strong to test my powers." Vegeta starts to stand up slowly with a smile on his face. He raises his energy to the maximum and says, "You said the poison absorbs my ki, right? So suck it up!" Vegeta's energy was so powerful that everything started to shake and several parts of the fortress began to collapse. Vegeta starts alternating his transformations, raising his ki even more. The villain screamed desperately, and an intense glow covers the entire place. Chameleon, who was absorbing Vegeta's ki, starts to emanate light from all sides, energy coming out of his eyes, mouth, and ears, and in a matter of seconds, he explodes while screaming, and Goku then says, When did you get so strong, Vegeta?" And Vegeta simply responds, "Idiot, I've always been strong." Goku then asks, what exactly Vegeta did with the Chameleon Warrior? So Vegeta says, "I don't have time to explain to you, Kakarot. Let's go." Vegeta at this point was anxious to find enemies that were really powerful. Goku and Vegeta recovers from having their energies absorbed and continue on their path. Vegeta was eager to meet the elite enemies who were extremely powerful. And meanwhile, his path continues. On Earth, Gohan explains everything that was happening to future Trunks, who is impressed with what he heard, and then says, "Friends, I will stay on Earth for a while, at least until my father and Lord Goku return, so I can help you protect this planet." Gohan thanks him, and at that moment they see people approaching. Those were Krillin, Tenshinhan, Yamcha, and others. When approaching, Krillin says, "Friends, we feel incredible power coming from here, and several places in the world are destroyed. These last few days have been crazy. So I decided to come here to find out what was going on. And the way I met all the people who were coming to Bulma's house too." Everyone gathered there, and Piccolo explains everything that had happened and what was happening at that time. Tenshinhan says, "Folks, I think it's best if we spread out across the planet. After all, if these beings are coming here for several places, we can split up, and if someone powerful appears, we get in touch with the others. Alright? I think that way we can keep the Earth safe." At that moment, Bulma comes running and screaming, "I did it! I did it! I did it! Eureka!" And everyone looks at her in amazement. And Bulma continues to say, "I got this amazing thing that will drive you all crazy." And everyone watches when Bulma pulls a device out of her pocket and touches it to her arm. The device begins to turn into something like an airband that covers her entire upper arm. Krillin then says, "So you have a fashion accessory and you think it's awesome?" She replies, "Shut up and just watch." She presses a button that is next to a small screen where some numbers were written on a digital panel, which she had on that armband. and suddenly she strikes a pose as if she's raising her ki. At that moment, her glass begins to emanate a very powerful energy, and the armband begins to expand, transforming into a vest similar to the armor that Vegeta wore. Her hair starts to change color and she starts screaming, "Ah!" And her energy increased more and more. In the small display that is on her arms, we see the numbers increasing rapidly. Bulma's hair changes color and starts to turn blonde when suddenly a huge glow emanates from her. After the brightness rose, everyone looked in awe. She had an appearance of a Super Saiyan and her ki was extremely high. And so she asks,
"So, what do you think? Now I'm a Super Saiyan."
Everyone is astonished with wide eyes without understanding anything. Even Whis is impressed and curious to know what was that. And Bulma says,
"Don't worry, I'll explain what's going on."
She returns to normal and everyone approaches and she starts to explain.
"I've been analyzing the Saiyan nature for quite some time now. Well, mainly Vegeta's. And analyzing his cells, I discovered that the powers of a Saiyan comes from something called Saiyan cells, so I developed this device. With it, I can simply concentrate and duplicate these cells, merging directly into mine, temporarily altering my DNA. This way, I can get this transformation. And further deepening my studies, I was able to develop this clothing coupled inside the device to improve my physical skills, making me faster, stronger, and increasing my energy to the point of becoming a Super Saiyan temporarily. The transformation lasts approximately 15 minutes, then it takes a little while for me to do it again. But the powers I can achieve can evolve like a normal Saiyan, and I can have the same skills. And the name I gave this transformation is Super Bulma!"
Whis is impressed and says,
"Oh, congratulations!"
Everyone is impressed and without reaction. Returning to Goku and Vegeta, the warriors have just arrived at a huge hall inside the fortress, a gigantic room that was completely empty. The two begin to hear the sound of chains dragging around them, and Goku looks at Vegeta and asks, "You heard that noise and felt that presence, right, Vegeta?" Vegeta responds,
"Yes. Get ready. We're not alone."
They look around and can't see anyone. They keep walking slowly and suddenly everything goes dark. Vegeta says out loud, "Kakarot, where are you?" And he doesn't listen at all. Everything clears up again, and Vegeta is in a different place than before. He doesn't see Goku. He can only see a being standing in front of him, with chains attached to his arm, heads down, and evil grin on his face. And when Vegeta decides to approach, the being in front of him raises his hand, and when swinging his arms, the chains go quickly towards Vegeta, hitting him and making him collide with a wall. Vegeta then says,
"Curses! Is this wretch going to use these chains as a weapon? It was just what I needed."
Then the being begins to whip Vegeta with its chains while laughing. Elsewhere, Goku was facing the same enemy that tied the chains around his neck and punished him cruelly, and Goku couldn't understand what was happening. Then the enemy begins to say, "I am a parasite, one of the 3 generals of the Makai Kingdom. My master sent me to teach you that you will no longer be able to reach them." Vegeta tries to say something, but the parasite prevents him from speaking by trapping his mouth with chains. At the same moment, he slowly raises his hand slowly and says, "Shh, you make a lot of noise." To be continued. Now Bulma will become a Z warrior. What will happen to Goku and Vegeta? Regardless of what it is more than important that you already expose it here in your comments so that we can enter into that crazy debate. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. And that's it for today. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.